Hey there, let's talk about cash flow. It's a really important part of finance, whether you're just handling your own money or running a big business. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll really dig into what cash flow is, why it matters, and how you can manage it well. So, what exactly is cash flow? It's all about the movement of money. You've got cash coming in, which we call cash inflows. For example, if you have a job, your paycheck is a cash inflow. For a business, when they sell their products or services, that money they receive is an inflow. Then there's cash going out, which are cash outflows. Paying your rent, utility bills, or buying groceries. These are all examples of cash outflows. And when you subtract the total cash outflows from the total cash inflows, you get the net cash flow. If that number is positive, it means you're bringing in more money than you're spending, which is usually a good thing. Now, let's look at the different types of cash flow. First up is operating cash flow. This is all about the day-to-day activities of a business or your personal finances. Take a coffee shop, for instance. The money they make from selling coffee, pastries, and sandwiches is an operating cash inflow. But then they have to pay for things like coffee beans, milk, wages for their baristas, and rent for the shop. All of these are operating cash outflows. Keeping an eye on operating cash flow is super important for businesses. If a business has a negative operating cash flow for a long time, it could mean there are some serious problems with their business model. Next is investing cash flow. This has to do with buying and selling long-term assets and investments. When a company decides to buy new equipment, like a manufacturing company purchasing new machinery to increase production, that's an investing cash outflow. They're spending money on something that will hopefully help the business grow in the long run. On the other hand, if a business sells an old piece of property or some stocks they've invested in, the money they get from that sale is an investing cash inflow. Understanding investing cash flow helps businesses see how their long-term investment decisions are affecting their overall financial situation. Another type is financing cash flow. This is related to how a business or an individual raises money and pays it back. For a business, if they issue stocks to raise capital, the money they get from selling those stocks is a financing cash inflow. Or if they take out a loan from a bank, that loan amount is also an inflow. But then when they pay dividends to their shareholders or make loan repayments, those are financing cash outflows. For individuals, taking out a mortgage to buy a house is a financing cash inflow, and the monthly mortgage payments are outflows. Why is cash flow so important? Well, for businesses, it can mean the difference between staying open and going under. Even if a company looks profitable on paper, if they don't have enough cash on hand to pay their bills and employees, they're in trouble. For individuals, understanding your cash flow helps you budget better. You can see where your money is going and make adjustments to save more or pay off debt. Managing cash flow effectively is key. For businesses, they need to keep a close eye on their accounts receivable, the money owed to them by customers, and accounts payable, the money they owe to suppliers. They might also need to plan for big expenses in advance and look for ways to increase their cash inflows, like through better marketing or expanding their customer base. For individuals, creating a budget and tracking your expenses can go a long way in managing your cash flow. You can also look for ways to increase your income, like taking on a side job or asking for a raise at work. In conclusion, cash flow is a fundamental concept in finance. By understanding the different types of cash flow, why it's important, and how to manage it, you'll be in a much better position to make smart financial decisions, whether you're running a business or just taking care of your own money.